I was reborn an hour before the apocalypse began. I headed straight to the phone store. Miss, you have great taste. This is the latest model we just received. I bought the newest model with the largest storage. The phone became an ability item. It could create anything necessary for survival. Just then, my boyfriend Jiang Tan suddenly appeared. He snatched my phone away. He complained I was wasting money. He and his coworker watched the scene, amused. In my previous life, they intentionally shoved me into a crowd of zombies. My fingernails dug into my palm. Only then did I resist the urge to strangle him on the spot. I held back my anger, tried my best to stay calm, told John Tan to return my phone immediately. Instead, he put my phone in his own pocket, claimed I was being wasteful, asked how I could help him save money in the future, to buy a car and house together. I immediately broke up with him. John Tan got angry right away, called me vain, told me to learn to be thrifty from his female co-worker Yao Tong. Yao Tong acted cute towards Zhang Tan and gave me a provocative smile. I spotted a passing police officer, immediately yelled for help. The officer walked into the store seriously. I pointed at Zhang Tan, telling the officer he stole my phone. Zhang Tan's face turned pale instantly. He pulled the phone from his pocket and tried to explain to the officer. Just a couple playing around. The officer asked if it was true. I grandfather time. It was already 6:28 p.m. I bit my lower lip. I had to admit not to pursue it for now. The officer nodded, turned to leave. I quickly paid, held the new phone, and hurried out. I ran out of the phone store, rushed to my electric scooter, drove home. Tan and honey, you guys are just too much. So unlike me, I only know how to care for you, a term PH. He actually dared to call the police today. If he doesn't beg me on his knees next time, I won't agree to get back together. After getting home, I locked the door right away, panting heavily. My phone screen showed 6:35 p.m. I rushed to sit beside my bed. My hands trembled as I turned on my new phone, opened the app store, started frantically tapping to download apps, installed all the apps. Sweat beaded in my palms. I gripped the phone tightly, watched the phone nervously. Suddenly, a mechanical noise exploded in the sky. Before the apocalypse countdown ended, the last thing each person touched with their hand would become their ability item. Some people believed it, others didn't, but I nervously clutched my phone. My knuckles turned white, veins bulged. I closed my eyes, then snapped them open. A flash of white light passed by. The phone suddenly floated in the air. Every app icon glowed on the screen, like a futuristic tech interface. My eyes widened. The corners of my mouth slowly lifted. I selected a family bucket from the chicken app. A bucket of fried chicken appeared out of thin air on my coffee table. A line of small text appeared next to the app on the screen. My eyes opened wide. Couldn't believe it. Tears of excitement filled my eyes. Reborn back again. I could finally eat my fill. The phone suddenly vibrated. John Tan started a video call invitation. My expression turned cold. My finger swiped to answer. Yao Tong sat pressed closely next to Zhang Tan. Zhang Tan told me to show a full view of my room. I turned the phone around expressionlessly. The camera panned across the room. Zhang Tan looked at me. There was nothing to eat in the room except fried chicken. He laughed smugly. Zhang Tan crossed his legs, mocked me that all plants and animals outside would mutate. It's too late to stock up now. I spoke calmly. Sounds like you prepared plenty of food. Zhang Tan pointed the camera at his room, showing off boxes of snacks everywhere. He bragged about how it's thanks to me wanting to move in last time. I changed the delivery address of all bought snacks to his place. He could hold out for at least half a month. A subtle change flickered in my eyes. So you're calling to share your food with me? No way. Who told you to dump such a good guy like Tam? Yao Tong stared at the screen, raised a smug smile, told me not to expect Tan to protect me, and not to expect any of their food. Yao Tong picked up their ability items, a kitchen knife and a lighter, showing off in front of the camera. Asked what my ability item was. I glanced around the room, and casually fed when the mechanical noise sounded. I was sleeping, so what I touched was my nap blanket. Yao Tong burst out laughing, mocked me like crazy. My ability item was a blanket. Yao Tong was about to say more. The screen suddenly froze. The call was disconnected. I looked at the now black screen. A cold smile appeared on my lips. The phone suddenly vibrated violently. Jumped to a group chat named A City Official Notice. The group member number kept climbing. My eyes widened, stared at the ever-increasing member count on screen. The group owner introduced himself as part of the CF publicity department. His ability item was the communications function. He could pull all the people in an area into the group, told everyone to change their group nickname to their ability item. Once everyone finished updating their name, every 3 days we'd get basic supplies. I changed my group nickname to Blanket, Huan Mi. A flash of light passed by. A supermarket shopping bag appeared out of thin air, landed at my feet. Inside was a box of instant noodles, several bottles of water, and some vegetables. I looked at the supplies. My expression grew complicated. The phone suddenly vibrated. Yao Tong tagged me and Zhao Zhou in the group. Yao Tong said in the group that since my ability item was useless, she suggested reducing my resources. Juntan helped push that narrative, argued that those with offensive abilities were needed most, suggested resources be divided based on ability strength. More and more people in the group started to agree. Some suggested allocating more supplies to those with attack abilities. They wanted double supplies. Those in the group without attack abilities tried to change their group nicknames, but lost a bunch of group points. I stared at my group points on the screen, fell into deep thought. Someone tagged me directly. Thought I must have ticked off Yao Tong. Told us to settle personal grudges privately. Said their innocent lives were being dragged in because of us. Even crueler, some told me to just leave the group. I stared at the screen. My eyes were icy cold. A cold smile curled at the corner of my lips. I was just about to start typing a comeback. Group owner Zhao Zhou's icon lit up. Released a notice stating every group member has the right to equal distribution of resources. No stirring up trouble in the group. Violators will be kicked out. Default points for everyone start at 10. Violations deduct points. Contributions add points. Points can be exchanged for supplies, weapons, and more later. Appendix. Item list. The group immediately went quiet. Someone asked if they could go out to buy their own supplies. Zhao Zhou replied that the government has not restricted movement, but if not safe outside, so it's best not to go out. A flood of crying emojis and voice messages filled the group chat. I looked up out the window. My gaze was complicated. I messaged Zhao Zhou privately, told him the temperature would begin to drop at 8 o'clock. It would drop 2 degrees every hour. Told him to notify everyone to take warm-keeping measures. Zhao Zhou called me. He asked if my supernatural item was related to predicting the future. I was just looking at the weather app on my phone. I casually replied that I just happened to know about the weather. I slowly explained the whole situation to my phone. I spoke with a hint of apology. Sighed, I could only check the weather for 1 week ahead. Zhao Zhou was really grateful for the intel I provided. If it turned out to be true, they'd immediately add points to my group score. After I hung up, a notification popped up on the screen for an updated group announcement. Zhao Zhou posted a group notice. He specified that the weather information was provided by Huang Mi. A swap button was also added to the group. Trading is now open to everyone. Many people in the group sent thank you emojis. The quest to buy items flooded the chat. Someone offered 10,000 to buy a thick comforter. Someone offered supplies to trade for a warm winter coat. I rather want to buy messages. My expression stayed calm. Suddenly, I saw a new message. A little boy had saved up 103 yuan and 60 cents in pocket money. He wanted to buy a thick quilt from me. I opened my Moments feed. Saw a photo of the boy helping an elderly person. A bare-bones room. Worn out furniture. My eyes softened. I told him to add me as a friend. Send me his location. After the friend request was accepted, the little boy sent his location and made a transfer. The group chat messages kept rolling. Everyone was asking why I sold to him for so cheap. Someone offered 500. Someone offered 1,000. Yao Tong firmly tagged me. She said I was trying to hype up the blankets for profit. Wanted people to trade their good gear for them. I looked at the screen. My gaze gradually turned cold. Yao Tong kept sending messages, telling everyone not to be fooled by this woman. That it was obviously a supernatural blanket item. How did I suddenly know the weather for a whole week? Clearly, the information was a scam. And that earlier plea for help, how to be a sock puppet show I staged myself. People in the group started following suit and cursing me. I was angered and laughed. A sarcastic smile appeared at the corner of my mouth. My fingers flew across the screen. I typed out, yes, that's right. I'm a scammer. You definitely shouldn't buy comforters. Those people made it clear they were too proud to buy. I put down my phone, let out a cold snort, thinking when they're frozen into ice sculptures later, let's see if they can stay so proud. A friend request popped up. The little boy quickly transferred the money. Asked me where I was. I was stunned for a moment. Curious, I asked. Everyone in the group is saying that about me. Aren't you afraid I'm a scammer? The little boy replied instantly. He's not afraid because his grandma is old, so he can't risk it. My gaze softened. I quick to refund the transfer. Told the boy to send his address. Told him to keep the money and buy food after the apocalypse is over. The little boy sent another voice message. He asked if the apocalypse would ever end. I sighed softly. I don't know either. I opened the online shopping app. The interface floated in the air. I selected a new quilt, entered the boy's address, clicked send. Suddenly, a red alert popped up on the screen. Program error. My eyes widened. My brows furrowed tightly. I tried entering my own address as a test and sent again. A second later, the new quilt dropped out of thin air. The shopping app displayed 1% super plugin enabled. Only for personal use. I looked at the quilt on the floor, fell into deep thought, then turned my gaze to my old quilt. A flash of inspiration sparkled in my eyes. I softly tried something. A silver beam shot out from my phone, formed a human-like phantom silhouette in the air. I looked in surprise at the robot projection in front of me. I anxiously asked which app could help me. Send my own quilt to someone else. I deliberately emphasized the words my own quilt. When searching for answers, I looked up and smiled. You can use the send feature on your phone's messaging app. I opened the messaging app's send feature. Sure enough, there was now a new send supplies option. I pointed my phone camera at the old comforter. Clicked send. Inside the boy's simple room, a white flash appeared. The comforter appeared out of nowhere and gently landed on the back. The little boy's eyes widened. His mouth formed an O shape. He stared in disbelief at the comforter that appeared out of nowhere. The boy quickly sent a message, excitedly praising how awesome I was. A warm smile spread across my face, as if I could see the boy's admiring gaze. I typed back, as long as you received it, that's good. Then I exited the messaging app, opened the delivery app. All kinds of food icons flashed across the interface. I ordered all kinds of bubble tea. A beam of light flashed. Over a dozen cups of bubble tea in different flavors were neatly lined up on the coffee table. Today's usage count changed from 1 to 2. Only 1 count per store per day. I started sipping my bubble tea, closed my eyes contentedly. One kept placing orders on the delivery app. Fruits from all over flashed in succession. The fruit appeared like magic tricks, falling one after another onto the coffee table, piling up into a small mountain. I picked up a piece of Musangkin durian, took a bite. A look of happiness appeared on my face. Finally, I'm free to enjoy whatever fruit I want. On the app, I chose takeout restaurants in other cities. A golden, mouth-watering roast duck landed on my plate, along with scallions and sauce. I rolled up a duck pancake into the bite. It was soft and crispy at the same time. My eyes suddenly became teary. After gnawing on bark so many times, I was touched to the point of tears. Another beam of light flashed. A plate of ruffled vinegar fish landed on the coffee table. I tried a bite of fish. My expression instantly froze, chewing with difficulty. Tears in my eyes. I felt like crying again. Suddenly, bark didn't seem so hard to chew anymore. I set the vinegar fish aside. I leaned back lazily on the sofa, burped and contentedly rubbed my stomach. Messages in the group chat kept rolling in. A show-off message popped up, including a photo of Australian lobster, king crab, foie gras, and other lavish dishes. My eyes lit up looking at the pictures. Decided to copy and show off a little too. I ordered the thing dishes one by one on the app. Today's usage count showed 15 out of 100. Looking at the full table of delicacies, I shook my head inside. I finally understood the troubles of the rich before the apocalypse. Simply can't finish everything. It was just too much. Another show-off post in the group showed off a luxurious home interior and storage room. The amount of food was enough to make anyone jealous. I frowned slightly, shook my head, and muttered to myself. They flaunted it even while being so indifferent. Isn't this just tossing meat in a Volve pack? Someone in the group is asking for the address. A rich person directly shares his location at Yipan City and announces that when the countdown ends, he'll be holding the property deed. This villa recognizes only him as the owner. He then sends surveillance footage. A little bird crashes into the front door handle and is instantly electrocuted, its body charred and tender. Someone in the group flatters the rich guy, saying he's really different. Mo had the property deed ready in advance. More messages pop up in the group. It seems colder than before. Everyone starts thanking me for the reminder. Yao Tong is unconvinced, jumps in and says it's nighttime now. The temperature normally drops anyway. Zhang Ten jumps in too, trash-talking me. Everyone in the group follows along and mocks me. I glance at the screen, with a blank expression, and keep operating my phone. Open the shopping app. Start placing orders. For generators, central heating, and warming equipment. The floor instantly fills with supplies. I frown, wondering where I'll fit all this stuff. Suddenly, Zhao classmate is automatically summoned. A phantom image appears and prompts me to renovate the house in the game. Then click use to apply it in real life. I open the game and quickly renovate the old shack. After fixing up the house in the game, I take a deep breath and gently press the button to using reality. The screen bursts with a dazzling light that instantly fills the entire room. The small one-bedroom apartment transforms into a spacious and bright villa living room. I stand in the middle of the living room, tears glistening in my eyes. The screen shows one renovation left for today. Feeling emotional. I used to scrimp and save and carry a mortgage to buy that tiny place. In the blink of an eye, it became a villa. I place crazy orders for high-tech gear again. Beams of light flash through the villa. Auto installations are done. Staring at my brand new villa, I nod with satisfaction. The fog outside thickens. Frost starts forming on the windows. I cross my legs and relax on the sofa, eating hot pot, watching TV shows, and glancing outside. Zha classmate's phantom appears. It shows -20 degrees outside and 20 degrees inside. The corners of my mouth lift. I pick up a slice of beef and swish it in the hot pot. Group messages start scrolling fast. Countless people at Yao Tong, all because they believed what Yao Tong said. They didn't prepare any warm gear. Yao Tong and Zhang Tan's avatars are gray, and they say nothing. The group owner Zhao Zhou says the temperature keeps dropping. It's confirmed. Please keep warm, everyone. The swap button in group features can be used without restriction. Free trading is allowed. System shows my group points updated to 30. A flood of people at me, asking if I have extra quilts. Several people DM me with long messages, crying about how the elderly and kids at home are weak. I'm just about to give in, but suddenly notice their Maros meter above the chat box is all about 60, whereas that little boy had a malice of 0 before. I checked their WeChat nicknames and realized they were the ones who trashed him in the group and said they'd never buy quilts. The corners of my mouth curl into a cold smile. I refuse directly. The quotes are only enough for myself. Sorry, can't help you. Those few immediately change attitude and curse me for having no conscience. My ex Zhang Tan also messages me. He says if I give him a blanket, it'll mean we're back together. I stare at Zhang Tan's message. My expression goes from shocked to mocking, then to cold, and I let out a meaningful smile. Frost spreads quickly outside the window. -20 degrees is covering the whole city. I cross my legs, sip orange juice, and mock Zhang Tan. Zhang Tan, annoyed, keeps urging me, trying to trade 5 breads and a bottle of water for dozens of blankets. I snort at the screen. When Zhang Tan gets no reply, he sends message after message urging me. I roll my eyes and reply straight up no deal. Grab my phone and take photos of the feast on my table and hit send. Zhang Tan panics. He instantly video calls me. I hit accept. Zhang Ken and Yao Tong are shivering under a quilt, eyes wide. They can't believe I have so much food and that my apartment turned into a villa. They demand to know if I went outdoors. I spit out one line coldly. None of your damn business. Zhang Tan forces a flattering smile and apologizes to me. I watch him with a half smile, and also Yao Tong leaning on his shoulder. Zhang Tan suddenly shoves Yao Tong aside. Yao Tong hits her wrist on the coffee table, winces from pain but doesn't dare to make a sound. Old Tong looks pitiful, forces a smile and starts apologizing and explaining to me. Zhang Tan scans the supplies behind me greedy, and begs in a whiny voice for supplies. I shiver all over, totally disgusted. Suddenly, a piercing scream is heard outside. I whip my head to look outside, and quickly end a video call. I rush to buy binoculars on Taobao. Binoculars appear in my hand. I raise them and look out the window. My face turns furious immediately. The zombies have shown up after all. The group messages are crazily rolling. Bloody, mangled people are getting bitten. Videos are being sent. The group falls into panic. Xiaozhou publishes an announcement. Avoid trading, to keep zombies from learning locations. Suddenly, someone in the group sends a help message. The person asking for help said, "This zombie seems to have some sort of tracking ability." It immediately teleported after making an exchange and bit the nanny's neck off in one go. Jia Zhou comforted the group members. While sending someone over, told him to block the bedroom door with something. I directly tapped him. "Go out and close the main door, and you'll be safe." But was met with a barrage of insults in the group. I was eating fruit, stood up and stretched lazily, typing at a relaxed pace, because thy zombie is knocking right at my front door. At this moment, there is a thumping knock at the door. I curled my lips into a cold smirk. I opened the Baidu image search app. Angry at the direction of the door, zombie info popped up on the screen. "It's a low-level zombie. Yao Tong sent me a private message. The malice score showed 90, planning to wait for me to be bitten to death by the zombie. Then he and Zhang Tan could move into my place." I gave a speechless cold laugh. Just a mere zombie. I effortlessly handled the zombie. Yuji was holding a fire extinguisher, looking ferocious, violently slamming the security door. Suddenly, a flash of silver light appeared on the security door and violently bounced the zombie back. There was Sev flying hard. He screamed and fell out the back window. A piercing scream was heard. Someone in the group heard the shrill scream. I hurried to explain. "I'm not disturbing the neighbors." That was the zombie. The group fell silent. Someone trembled as they asked what I did to the zombie. I just told the truth. He said he's a sports enthusiast, so he went bungee jumping out the window. The group became silent again. Someone guessed my special item is also a property deed. In the morning, I walked down the stairs, opened Mate 1 app, chose a Cantonese breakfast, ordered dozens of items. The coffee table was instantly filled with exquisite steamers and plates. Steaming hot. I picked up my phone. I took a photo of the whole breakfast spread, sent it to Zhang Can and Yao Tong. I picked up a shrimp dumpling, took a bite of the shrimp. Chewy and satisfying, I squinted my eyes. Zhang Can and Yao Tong drooling popped up in my mind, jumping their feet in frustration. A smile appeared at the corners of my mouth. A new group announcement notification popped up. Jia Zhou issued a call to arms, encouraging everyone to attack, calling for people with powers to help kill zombies. 10 points awarded for every zombie killed. Zhang Tian was the first to respond. Believed everyone must participate. If a person doesn't kill 2 zombies per week, they'd be kicked out of the group. Many people criticized him for showing off. Zhang Tian posted a video of himself chopping zombies. The group went quiet instantly. Jia Zhou thanked him and gave him a reward. Zhang Tian privately messaged me, boasting about the supplies he just got, mocked me for being a useless power user, wanted me to beg to make up with him. I coldly typed as the countdown ended. "Why don't you touch your own face? What do you mean?" "Then your special power item must be your ridiculously thick skin." Zhang Tian flew into a rage, sending angry emojis and long voice messages over and over, continuing to mock me. After a few days, the photos shared in the group looked pathetic. The rich guy Qian Duodwo still posted free pics, attracting envy and jealousy. Suddenly, Qian Duodwo sent a message warning to watch out for seals and stamps. Chu Dao and his group altered property deeds and took people's houses. After that, the rich guy went silent. Right after Chu Dao announced regular houses didn't interest him, Yao Tong kept posting my home's fruit and address, telling Chu Dao to go take it. Everyone in the group was shocked. Surprised life could be so comfortable. Chu Dao decided to take action. Zhang Can quickly proposed to work together, said they'd split the loot 50-50. I looked at the private messages from Zhang Tan and Yao Tong. Their malice score both reached 100. I sneered coldly. I opened the gaming app, picked a survival game from the list, got up and walked to the door. Perfect chance to send them a big surprise package. Zhang Tan was outside. Yao Tong, Chu Dao, the 3 of them, were sneaking near the villa gate. Zhang Tan was holding a property deed. Suddenly, the door opened. I stood at the doorway. The 3 of them were stunned. Yao Tong was about to pull out a lighter to attack. I pressed the start button on my phone screen at them, and the 3 of them instantly vanished and entered the game. The 3 little avatars parachuted from a plane. Looking terrified, I watched the 3 of them panic inside the game, nodded in satisfaction. Game rules: defeat all enemies, or survive for 30 minutes to clear the stage. The only thing is, not sure if these temporary allies will end up fighting each other. At this point, the group announcement updated again. The rescue team had arrived and started clearing out zombies. The light of hope was just ahead. Drone footage played on my phone screen. A well-trained team battling zombies, doing everything they could to save civilians. I closed the video, feeling complicated, struggling to sleep late at night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the rescue team's determined eyes. I sat up and turned on my phone. Zhao Zhou was urgently asking for help in the group. A team at Xingling Community was trapped and needed rescue. People in the group all replied they didn't want to go or didn't dare go. Someone offered out the spare house for people to hide in. Someone sent medicine using the group transaction feature. I concisely told them to send you the location. In the group, I joked that for the transport money, even my life is on the line. I was risking my life. Zhao Zhou privately double-checked with me. I confidently agreed to the rescue. Zhao Zhou was silent for a few seconds. Quickly sent over the location, told me to be careful. I opened a map, entered the address, pressed confirm. I instantly teleported and appeared in the ruins. In front of me were several wounded team members. They stared at me with wide eyes, led by Captain Chen, who confirmed I was the rescuer. I opened the antivirus feature on my phone, pressed scan, cleared the area first, detected zombies within a 1-kilometer radius. Environmental safety score, 40. A zombie in the distance charged like a cannonball. Captain Chen tried to get out but fell down helplessly. Casually smirking, I clicked clean up on my phone. That zombie was halfway towards us. Instantly turned to dust, scattered with the wind. All the team members stared in disbelief at what just happened. Mouth agape. Captain Chen struggled to salute and thank me. I crouched down to carefully check the team members' wounds. Some had crushed legs. Some had intestines exposed. Some had already gone into shock. All insisted I treat the others first. The sight made my eyes sting. I took a deep breath, pulled out a medical kit from the survival game, and adrenaline. Chose the closest injured person. Captain Chen was bandaged and injected with adrenaline. His wound healed at a rate visible to the naked eye. Moments later, all team members could stand up and move their limbs around, looked at me with admiration. Captain Chen was moved to tears. Thanked me again. I looked down a bit embarrassed. I'm just using the convenience of my special item. They are the real heroes. At this moment, zombie howls come from afar. Everyone warily looks in the direction of the sound. A group of zombies let out creepy laughs. Captain Chen instinctively steps in front of me, arranges team members to protect me. The citizens also think of my abilities. Awkwardly scratching my head, I open the incognito mode on XApp. A curtain of light envelops everyone. I quietly approach the zombie horde. I perk up my ears. I open a translation app, aiming it at the zombies. Text appears on my phone screen. The king has appeared. The zombie king can assimilate humans. Now it's residing in a human's body. It needs a lot of energy. Find the king and protect it. Captain Chen and the others listen to the translation. Their faces look extremely unpleasant. Report this up the chain as quickly as possible. I teleport the team to the rest area. Zhao Zhou quickly comes to greet us. He grabs my hand and thanks me repeatedly. He also gives me a giant supply bag. I take the supply bag. Speaking of the little boy, I open up the D map again. Enter the little boy's home address. Tap to teleport. I instantly appear in a shabby house. The little boy bounces over to me. He shows me the drawing he made for me. I smile and hand over the government-issued supply bag. The little boy happily takes it. He chose to call his grandma. I suddenly hold the boy back in alarm. Staring at the grandma, I open the picture recognition on Do app. The screen shows it's the zombie king in its initial form. Grandma is wearing glasses. Frozen in place. The little boy's eyes fill with tears. He doesn't know what to do. I sigh, while needing to notify the authorities. We've already found the host of the zombie king. Both the elderly and the child are stunned. The little boy cries and asks me why grandma didn't save him. I say fatly that I'm not sure. The people Zhao Zhou arranged arrive. It's Captain Chen leading the team. Captain Chen salutes first. Feels sorry for having to take grandma back for tests. The elderly woman strokes the little boy's head. To be able to do something for humanity, grandma thinks it's worth it. Then she entrusts her grandson to us. Grandma is helped up by the team and let out. The little boy follows behind. He looks back at me. His eyes are filled with tears. I walk alone down the deserted street. Open the tile matching gang. Turn on auto clear mode. Zombies turn into points of light and vanish. Just in time for a drone to fly by, catching the fiend on camera. I return to the villa. Collapsing on the sofa, open the group chat to check. Discover all the powers I showed have been exposed. prompting apologies and admiration from group members. Jum, Ken, Yao Tum, and Thea Chu Dao are kicked out, completely embarrassed, not saying a word in the group chat. Dao posts a wall of text, apologizing in the group, crying their eyes out. I look at Xiachu Dao, Zhang Tan, and Yao Tong on WeChat. Facility level 100. Let out a cold laugh. Add them into a new group. Send out a horror game invocation. The three are instantly sucked into the game, only leaving behind terrified screams. I get up and look out the window, feeling complicated emotions. When this extreme cold is over, there will be a rampant growth of plants. Where should humanity go from here?